We have Ms Kiran Bedi now joining us. She's a retired IPS officer and former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry. Thanks very much, Dr. Kiran Bedi, for joining us. My first question to you, that when we see crimes against women rising, our first finger points to the law and order situation and to the police. But do you think there is a blame for the society at large as well? In the recent cases that we have seen, in Shraddha Walkar murder case, she tried to speak to her friends, speak to her family about how she was in an abusive relationship. Still, she was murdered by her boyfriend. So it usually never starts with the murder. It starts with a slap, it starts with domestic violence, and after that, it ends up in such extreme cases. So do you think these women don't have an outlet to reach out to somebody, and we as a society are not able to provide a support system?
I think in your introduction, you very beautifully, rightly said we need to reflect as a society. And where the reflection remains is, how are we bringing up our boys and girls? What kind of parenting is happening at home? And what kind of grooming is happening in schools and colleges? That's a challenge. Challenge here is grooming, growth. And I think most of the boys are just growing up on the streets, and parents have no control over them. I'm not sure if parents are watching over them or nurturing them, educating them, skilling them, working with them, communicating with them. I think we are having a major challenge the way our boys are being brought up. That's a challenge which the society needs to accept.
So, Dr. Bedi, how do you think that can be internalized to an extent that it becomes normal for us to raise our men this way, that they, from the start of their lives, they know that this is how they need to treat women? Because as obvious as it sounds, when we say that you need to respect women, you're not supposed to commit such crimes, or you're not supposed to do all of this. As obvious as that sounds, it's clearly not hitting home. So what do you think needs to be done to ensure that that grooming starts at an early age, and to also ensure that maybe it's systemized?
I don't think anybody knows how to really parent. It's all trial and error. Parenting is never an issue. Parenting it's just accident. You just keep having children and you think that they'll grow up naturally, biologically, bade ho jayenge, school padh lenge, pass ho jayenge. There is no indulged parenting. There's no careful nurturance. And do parents really know how to parent? Do the boys, and particularly boys? And I think they only want boys. Parents want boys. And when parents want boys, that's a celebration. But what grooming they need, I don't think that they know, and they're concerned or they're worried. They're only thinking that bade ho jayenge, hamare liye ye social security banenge, aur inko naraz bhi nahi karna hai, inko palna bhi hai, kyunki hame unko zarurat hai. So I think the boys are just growing up on the streets, if you ask me. So there is a early delinquency which is setting. Habits, anger management, their wish fulfillment. I think there is no character development, no value system, no values for families, no respect for women. I think there is something seriously already gone wrong, how we brought up our boys. We've already gone wrong, and we are already bearing the consequences. I don't think parents know. Parents know what the boys do the whole day. And there are no rules and regulations for boys. There are rules and regulations for girls to come back before such and such. But there are no rules and regulations. They're scared of the boys. As the boy becomes an adolescent, he almost starts threatening his parents that ye baat nahi manoge, to main ye karunga, ye ghar se chala jaunga. So they're always afraid. They're afraid of the boys. So I think India, we are having a youth bulge. But what kind of boys are we producing? That's a real, very big challenge today. They're getting involved into drug abuse. They're getting involved into these kinds of eve-teasing issues. They're indulging into bad company. So many things are happening. But I don't think mothers and fathers exercise any control over these boys today.
Right. You've rightly highlighted that anger point as well, and that's also what we're reflecting on right now. That is the toxic masculinity. Has it come to such an extent that boys can't take no for an answer? And as you rightly pointed out, if as much time as parents spend on raising their girls and giving out restrictions for them, ye mat karo, aise mat baitho, aise mat khao, ye mat pehno, if they spend half as much time on their men, I think we would be better as a society. Dr. Bedi, thanks very much for joining us.